For one final time in 2024, we are all set for softball in Piscataway. The regular season finale for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights and the Penn State Nittany Lions. The rubber match in these two both days broke through in spurts against Boyd in the earlier game today, but couldn't come up with a big enough inning as Morrison taps back to Smith, and that is the first out
this weekend.
And Maddock up to the 2 spot as she rolls out over to first, and L.A. Matthews squeezes it. And 2 quick outs from Morgan Smith, somebody who had Smith's 2-2 pitch. A breaking ball bashed on the ground to second, but a nice stop by Maddie Lawson, and a 1-2-3 start to the day. Open leadoff hitter digs in, and the 0-1 is cracked into center field, a base hit. And she's been productive all weekend long, a leadoff base runner for RU.
She sure has a .412 average on the year, and what I like most at the
rest of the Rutgers lineup, which is fairly similar, as this one is cranked by L.A. Matthews out to right field, but the catch is made. Had good carry on it, but tracked down by Brunson, and there's one away.
Center, and then of course in the circle as well.
Slams this to center. It sends Jones back, and Smith has another double. A whirl around for Kylie Sand, and she speeds her way across the plate. Another inning, the same results. Rutgers has the early advantage.
Away.
Yeah, and she just tied that record with that run to give Rutgers the 1-0 lead. As Katie Wingert lifts it foul ground, left side. Hernandez in front of the sidewall makes the grab. Really tough play for
out, and it is much more packed for game 2 than it was for game 1.
McCavish works a walk. This, right about now, 3 o'clock roughly on the East Coast, was supposed to be the start time for this game, which is
having to heavily rely on Namath, and of course Volpe is that number 2 arm. Also solid work on Saturday.
Garcia doesn't see this pop up, but fortunately Maddock does, but she dropped it. Smith didn't stop running, she scores. Linkavage at third. A drop pop that wound up right in front of the plate.
Knight team, just one of 2 teams in the Big Ten to be north of 300 runs on the year, just continuing to be aggressive offensively.
You saw Jones had to make a long run on it, but she tracks down the fly.
NCAA tournament, but also the Big Ten top 4, meaning a bye on Wednesday, but a loss today would do an awful lot in a negative way.
Gabby Garcia, some timely hitting this weekend, and she is the first Penn State base runner.
And Penn State, a squad that
games and has a couple important wins. Chopped over to third. Linkavage wants 2. There's 1, but can't get Gordon. So Garcia, the lead runner, is out, and Gordon reaches on the fielder's choice. Penn State is 33rd in RPI.
Rell is out here in Piscataway.
Namath cranks it to center field. Anderson is back, and that ball's not coming back. Off the top of the center field fence and over. Bridget Namath goes yard against another Big Ten school. Broadway Bridget has been outstanding this weekend in New Jersey. And we got a tie ball game in the second.
Doing it on both sides of the ball. What a weekend for Namath. First on Friday, complete game. Battling the wind, battling the sprinkle. Powerfully hit.
And now Haley Brunson rolls it through the middle, and she is out.
Here with Smith.
2-strike pitch is chopped over to short. Sands shuffles over, and the top of the second is over. But Bridget Namath has made another. Issued by Volpe, and mentioned control has been a problem for her. Roughly 60 walks in 90 innings so far. And it's a 4-pitch walk. With the rain starting to pick up a tiny bit, we mentioned it's going to be in the area for it.
In game 1 of this doubleheader, leading to a couple pass balls.
Bunted, a diving try, and it's caught by Paletti. Gianna Paletti charged on that wheel play to cover the bunt. A little dribbler right back to the pitcher, and Sand is safe. Small. L.A. Matthews is looking for her first hit against her old team. Does she have it here? Curling it to left center field. A diving try, but it's out of Jones's reach. Bach and Sand stride for stride. Bach comes home. Sand stops at third. And an RBI double for L.A. Matthews.
And you gotta love it off the bat at L.A. Matthews. Intentional walk here, Dom. And I mean, it's the ultimate sign of respect in this game, isn't it?
That's for sure. And so Smith will take it, and Wingert will bat with one out, and the base is loaded.
Has been so solid. I mean, on Friday she was lights out, a little shakier in game one.
Guided over to third, no play at the plate. Maddock goes to first to get the sure out. With Sand running from third, it's a tough play to begin, and Maddock just wants to get an out. But it's an RBI for Katie Wingert. Rutgers posts 2 here in the second in a 4-2 ball game. Pitch poked into left field and hanging for Gordon for a poke that was hit pretty well. That is the final out of the second inning. Rutgers today has done quite well at responding every time Penn State scores. They do it again here in the second. A lot to this team. It's uncharted territory, literally. Chasing a miss. Strike 3. And Morgan Smith has her first strikeout.
Yeah, Morgan Smith with the first K of the day. Already given up a couple hits and a couple earned runs.
Kristen Butler's called it the deepest lineup she's had. But this is a gapper from Caitlin Morrison, and it's rolling towards the wall. And she will take another double. Kate Morrison entered the weekend with 14 doubles. And she adds another. 2 of them coming on Friday. And rolls this over to Smith. Leaping grab for the second out. And Morrison forced to hold at second. Andrew is a math whiz. The sport's not his forte, but a number cruncher. This is bolted to second, but right at Maddie Lawson. Jones hit it on the screws. 2-1 is rolled over to first and scooped up by Paletti for the first out. You know, it's funny, something we've noticed, and doing it now with their new schools. Maddie Lawson has been the elbow has been a magnet for the ball today.
And you can make it doesn't seem like she sticks it out.
And bashes this to right field and deep. Brunson is back. That ball is gone. Kayla Bach goes opposite field for a 2-run shot. And she extends Rutgers' lead. It's a senior day Bach blast. 6-2 RU. Two. Swing and a miss. Still has some of that velo and gets a strikeout, her first of the game. Sanda's proving to be yet again a pesky out. 2-2. Is cracked down the left field line, and it's a fair ball. Curling into foul territory. Gordon sprints over to it, so it's just a single. The game that have employed the pitch clock. Working quickly. It's ball 4. Well, regardless, Matthews able to get first on the freebie. Football career to this point had been like. Didn't play much in 2 years at LSU. Wanted to be a two-way player, was that in high school back home in Arizona. Transferred to Rutgers because she said she had a head coach in Kristen Butler who, a lot like Kate,
did have the RBI in the second inning with the fielder's choice.
Swing and a miss. Bridget Namath buckles down and gets a strikeout to strand. The base is loaded.
California.
A poked pass. Matthews into the right field corner. Base hit for Garcia. Chugging for second, who gets the stop sign there.
Afternoon contest, a little different spot.
A bounce right back to Smith. Knocks it down. Makes sure third isn't busy and gets big country for the first out.
It's the impressive club resume as well. You're going to get that big-time attention.
And Namath pulls it on the ground to second, advances the runner, but commits the second out.
And Brunson's been a pretty clutch hitter so far this year.
Hits that right to Linkavage. Rutgers gets the final out. It was searching for.
Boyd was lights out in game 1 for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, and
Linkavage launches it to right, and it bangs off the bottom of the wall. Kicks away from Brunson, so Linkavage wants third, and she is in there with the slide. Great backup in foul ground. Stops it inside the Parker. Peyton Linkavage had to hustle on senior day. One last sprint around the bases at the Rutgers softball complex. Gives
right over, or just about 99 pitches yesterday, and then
Herka shoots it into right field, a base hit. It's another RBI. She brings in her classmate Peyton Linkavage. Megan Herka is having a day to remember in her final.
And Lydia Spalding in the circle was just lights out last year as a sophomore.
High in the sky, left fields. Miles, you had mentioned some of the defensive changes. One of them is Michaela Barbonente in left, and she squeezes that for the first out. And ball 4. Miles, have you ever, I mean, you're younger than I am, so maybe not. Have you ever run into somebody in life who you know was younger than you, and people including for athletic director Pat Hobbs, and she also had the unfortunate task as it is done taking care of half of it. If it wins both games, it will guaranteed have a bye. As Maddock chops it to second, it's booted by Lawson. Everybody's safe. And the bases are loaded with Nittany Lions. Nobody out.
Clutch in this spot.
And Boyd's pitch is blooped into shallow center, really in back of second. And Sand has the unproductive first out of the inning.
Yeah, and that's.
I told you Boyd had 8 strikeouts each of the first 2 games. And gets a pop-up here off to the right. There's Punk, the new first baseman, looking for it. And that's the second out. Boyd a strike away from getting out of this. And punched over to third. Linkavage on the tough hop, handles it. Side retired. And Maddie Boyd gets out of bases loaded, nobody out, without giving up.
And Punk on the season, a relatively small sample size, only 31 ABs.
Well, jam shot into shallow left, and the catch is made by Morrison for the first out.
The game.
That's a good point, Miles. I know sure as heck nobody was ever intentionally walking me to get to anybody.
That's what I'm saying.
Flared into left, and the catch is made. I don't care who's batting after me. I don't care what the situation is. There's nobody who's going to intentionally walk. She can't control the run scoring. Just trying to get outs as Wingert blasts it to center field. Jones at the fence, reaches over, and that one is gone. One more for the history books for Katie Wingert. Extends her Rutgers home run record. She blasts her 42nd over the center field wall, and Rutgers is back in front by 6. All of the seniors have shined this weekend.
The 6-year senior, Wingert, grabs her 13th of the year.
And for Katie Wingert, who has had a college athletics career that few will because of injury, some extra eligibility. Rolled over to third. Maddox stops it in front of the bag. Signed retired.
In 2024 with 13, but win 14 would certainly mean a lot to Kristen Butler and these seniors.
Maddie Boyd goes from 2-0 to 2-3. And strikes out Bridget Namath to start the 6th. Time was truly the charm between Butler and Boyd. Cut and a miss. There's the changeup that grabbed Kristen Butler's eyes years ago.
Hey, this is my ace. And here in 2024, there's been really no question about it. Maddie Boyd is the ace of Rutgers softball.
Barbonente powers another. She's left the yard again. We've been talking about Penn State's improved recruiting. Michaela Barbonente coming into her own as her freshman season comes to a close. She's gone deep twice in as many innings. First to center, after falling behind early. Checks that over to first. Punk gobbles it up, and the 6th is over. Caleb Barbonente, have yourself a day. A freshman goes yard for the second time in as many innings. Entered in the fourth inning, looking for her third frame of work. As lefty misses up and away, ball 4. And Herka aboard for the third time in the game. Go out there and paint the numbers of all of the seniors. Easier said than done this year. As Georgia Engel tanks one high in the sky. Pinch hitter lifts it out to right, and Brunson squeezes it for the first out. Tradition, and shouts to Charles and Ray for doing that again this year and figuring out how to get all 11 numbers just to fit around the block R.
So if you're the oldest member of a ball club.
Anderson goes opposite field to left, and Barbonente has it to end the inning.
But that leadership role falls on your shoulders, and it's certainly on the horizon.
Or pardon me, that's the doubleheader, so they played the 2 games there. Before that, there's their last series win, Michigan State. As Morrison barrels it down the line, and it bangs off the wall. And Kate Morrison stands at second, her latest double. 17 of them on the year.
Yeah, the second double of the day for Morrison.
And has been ahead by a couple of runs, and the team trailing has made it very interesting.
No doubt about that.
Pulled on the ground, Punk picks it off the turf. Snow cones the first out. That's a big grab there. If that gets through, Kate. Boyd's pitch is driven out to right field. A catch is made. It's going to score the run on the sacrifice fly. Morrison trots in. Penn State has had a couple of run-scoring innings. And this one is smacked to center. Smith sprinting over, called off by Chavez. The catch is made. The series is over. And Rutgers has grabbed a series victory against Penn State. 9-5 the final score. On senior day, the Scarlet Knights come up with a sweep of an NCAA caliber team. Maddie Boyd pitches in all 3 games. She is great in all 3 games. And for a Rutgers team that's only 3 years removed from being in the bottom of the Big Ten, with the series victory against Penn State, the Scarlet Knights have guaranteed they have their first ever bye in the opening round of a Big Ten tournament. Rutgers does not have to play on Wednesday at the conference tournament.